All right, let's talk about building beautiful user interfaces. You know those big, bold hero sections you see on modern apps and websites? The ones that just instantly grab your attention? Well, today we're going to break down exactly how you can build them in your own B4X projects using the B4X DaisyHero component. Let's jump right in.
And just to get us started, check this out. This is where we're headed. It looks super clean, totally professional, and that text is crystal clear against the image. So how do we build this without pulling our hair out? You're about to see that it's actually kind of easy.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll cover what a hero component even is. Then we'll look at its anatomy, get the hang of its layout system, see how to customize the visuals, and finally, we'll put it all together and build that example you just saw, step by step.
Okay, first things first. What exactly is a hero component? What's the big deal? You can think of it like the front door to your app. It's that big, eye-catching banner right at the top. Its whole job is to make a killer first impression, to grab the user's focus and immediately show them what's important, whether it's a new feature or a simple Get Started button. Now, to really get how this works, we need to peek under the hood. The best way to think about this component isn't as one single thing, but as a stack of different layers, all working together. And this breaks it down perfectly. It's basically a layer cake. At the very bottom, you've got your foundation, the base container. On top of that, you lay down your background image. Then comes that really important color overlay, which gives you contrast. And finally, right on top of everything, you have the content panel. That's where all your text and your buttons actually live. So we've got our layers, but how do we arrange all that stuff? The text, the buttons, inside the hero. This is where the magic happens. The B4X DaisyHero component uses Flexbox, which is a super powerful way to get precise control over your layout without having to do a bunch of complicated math. And you know what the best part is? It all boils down to just 3 main properties. You've got direction, content alignment, and gap. Once you know what these 3 do, you can create pretty much any layout you can think of. Let's take a quick look at each one. So direction is super simple. By default, it's vertical, so it just stacks everything on top of each other, like you see here. But you flip that one word to horizontal, and boom, instantly, everything lines up neatly, side by side. Next up, content alignment. This one is awesome. It lets you move the entire block of content around. You can shove it all to the left or the right, or like you see here, perfectly center it in the middle of the panel. It's just one property to control the position of everything at once. So easy. And finally, we have gap. Gap is your secret weapon for a clean design. It just automatically puts the perfect amount of space between every single item for you. Seriously, no more tweaking coordinates or calculating margins. You just set the gap and everything looks great. Okay, so our layout is locked in. Now for the really fun part, making it all look amazing. Let's talk about the visuals and especially about that super important overlay. Just look at this. The difference here is night and day, right? On the left, with no overlay, that white text is a mess. It's almost impossible to read. But on the right, all we did was turn the overlay on. That one little change instantly makes the text pop. It's professional, it's stylish, and most importantly, people can actually read it. And that's the whole idea. You've got this small set of powerful tools to control the look. You can set your background image, you can change the overlay color and its transparency, you can round off the corners, and you can even add a little shadow for some depth. This is your main styling toolkit right here. All right, enough theory. We've talked about the layers, we've talked about the layout, and we've talked about the styling. Now, let's put it all together and actually build that beautiful hero section we saw at the start. Remember this? This is our goal. We've got the cool background, the dark overlay making the text readable, everything centered, and it has those nice rounded corners and a shadow. We're going to build this right now, and you'll be surprised how few lines of code it takes. Step 1, we need our visual backdrop. So we just point the background image property to our photo file. And just like that, the image is in place, sitting on that bottom layer. Easy enough. Okay, next up is the most important part for readability. This right here, this is the game changer. We just set overlay visible to true. That's it. One line of code tells the component to draw that dark, semi-transparent layer over the image, and suddenly our text is going to be perfectly clear. Now for the finishing touches, the polish. We'll set the rounded property to give us those nice soft corners. Then we'll set the shadow to LG, which gives it that subtle little lift that makes it feel like it's floating. These 2 little tweaks add a ton of modern flair. And last but not least, we just bring back those layout properties we learned about. We set the direction to vertical to stack our text and button, and then we set content alignment to center to push that whole stack right into the middle. And that's it. We're done. That's the whole thing.
So let's just quickly recap the big ideas here. Remember, the component is built in layers. That's the easiest way to think about it. It uses Flexbox, which makes tricky layouts super simple. That overlay is absolutely your best friend for making text readable. And you can get a completely custom look just by changing a few simple properties.
So by putting these simple ideas together, the layers, the layout, and the styling, you've got everything you need to create some truly professional, attention-grabbing hero sections in your own apps. The only question left is, what stunning hero are you going to build first?